we're going to welcome Dr. Nthabeleng.
I have been requested to come and talk about how you can reinvent yourself. Now, Mam Linda was talking about the pendulum, to say you start from one point where you are thinking about your ideal state, where you want to go to. However, in between, there is a process of transition. And one of the tools you need for you to successfully arrive in your promised land, if I can use that term, is knowledge, as she said. So today I want to share with you some knowledge that will help you to make the transition successfully. Now, let's talk about reinvention. First of all, what is reinvention? Because I understand that we might be having different understandings. But to be quite honest, reinvention is really all about staying relevant in your space and competitive. Reinvention is also about you repositioning your experience, your talents, and passion in a way that is relevant for the season you find yourself in. Now, as a personal branding coach, I have sat with many clients. And one of the challenges I've found is that actually people don't have a challenge of dreaming. Everybody is dreaming. Just as we had, Mam Linda said, there's nobody who can say they're not doing anything. I want to add to that and say there's nobody who can say they are not dreaming. Everybody is dreaming. However, very, very few people are implementing. And I want to give you this analogy so that you understand what I mean. Think of a swing. How many of us have ever played on a swing when we were young? We need to hop off from the swing and actually get on a bridge, because the bridge has got a common denominator. It is also connected to one point and the other point. However, with the bridge, you walk over it, and once you are on the other side, you look, you find that you are in a different place, unlike with a swing. So when you are swinging, you keep dreaming, you keep desiring, but if there is no proper action in place, no proper guidance, no proper accountability, even after 50 years, you will find yourself in the same place. So reinventing yourself is all about helping you get on a bridge that will move you from one position to the other. Now, why is it important? First of all, you can't spend your life doing what you hate. Okay? Because there are many people who are doing something, but there's no sense of passion. And through reinvention, I'm helping you to come out of that space. You cannot spend your life in a place that doesn't energize you anymore. Also, remember that people will always judge you on the basis of your past. But through reinvention, you help them to move into your current capabilities. Because yesterday is over. What I did yesterday, whether I succeeded yesterday or I failed yesterday, it is over. But people have a tendency of staying in the past. So through reinvention, you help them migrate mentally. Because if people can be with you where you are at mentally, they are in a better space to be able to receive your new offer in the reinvented space. So when is the best time to reinvent yourself? Number one, when you are in a new phase. I don't know if we are aware, but Mom's Story right now, she's also in her own reinvention place, and today she's announcing. And I will show you at which step she is at, right? But when you are in a new phase, you do need to reinvent so that you are able to be relevant in that space. Number two, when you've lost a job or you are changing careers and you want to use your background as an asset, whatever you've gained in life, the experiences you've gained in life, whatever lessons, you migrate with them into your new reinvented state. You might want to reinvent when you want a promotion at work, when you want to deal with blockages of progress. You want to progress, but too many things are holding you back. Or when you want to move into a different area, from advertising to psychology, for example, or you want to move from being a teacher at school into ministry, or you want to move from ministry into government, reinvention will help you. Otherwise, it's going to take you forever to finally arrive there safely. Step one, when you're going to reinvent yourself, the first thing you need to do is to do what I call a reality check. Okay? A reality check is where you first of all check out what is it that you have right now, where are you at the moment. You conduct what I call a 360-degree assessment, where first of all you do an introspection, but then also you ask other people to comment on you. And you have to be very confident to be able to do this exercise, because you might even feel attacked when people give you the feedback. When people give you feedback, try not to justify constructive criticism, because remember, you need a clear view of where you are at the moment, right? And then also you must ask yourself, after you get all those feedback, ask yourself, are you happy and do you want to be associated with what you are hearing? So here are a few methods you can use to do your own reality check. First of all, you can conduct what we call face-to-face interviews. Select about top 5 people that you feel know you really well. Not people who will say what you want them to say to you, or people who are just negative, who just want to tear you down. There has to be a balance. So you can have face-to-face interviews. There are online tools that you can use, or you can have a focus group where you get about 5 to 10 people, and then you ask them questions about you, and you become the agenda of the day. Don't justify, don't interrupt when people are giving you their own feedback. At the end of the day, you want to know where you are. Then after you do a reality check, the second step of reinvention is not to go and buy banners and, start a business. The second thing you need to do, you need to evaluate different opportunities that are out there, right? And then you have to test and investigate your move before you take a step. And in the process, keep a low profile until your brand is solidified. Otherwise, there's going to be uncertainty and you're going to confuse your audience. And remember that social capital is very, very expensive. So while you are in the process, don't expose the process before time. It's going to tamper with trust that you need from your audience. And if you don't have trust, you're not going to have loyalty, you're not going to have value added into your space. And then number 3, you have to build your relationships. Investigate the market. Just because you've looked at opportunities, you must also check, where can I exploit this opportunity best, right? Explore this space that you want to enter into, and there's different ways you can do that. Number 1, you can volunteer, or you can do what we call job shadowing. It is as you engage in these activities that you start to explore the market. A lot of people are just excited, as Mamlinda was saying, but from excitement, they just want to do. The second thing that will help you to explore the market is job shadowing. Job shadowing is when you accompany somebody, a mentor, for example, who is already in the space, and then you get a feel of what is going on there. You spend 2 to 3 days with them. You make an arrangement. Be in the life of a pastor, be in the life of whoever it is that is already there, so that you can see if what you are asking for is really going to work for you. A lot of people jump in and jump out, and they jump into something else and they jump out of it because they never really went through the process. So it's better that you give yourself a foretaste in advance. It's better to taste it and see that, it's not really what I want, let me try something else, instead of just giving yourself fully into it and then it doesn't work. Then, moving forward, step number 4, it's going to be very important that you nourish your skills. So, as you reinvent, whether it's musically anything, you must nourish your skill. If your skill is not nourished, it means you are blunt, you will have expired. So refine your skills to remain sharp in the space. right? So what you can do to nourish your skills, few things. Number one, you must ensure that wherever you are working, your growth is accommodated. Nourishing your skills simply means you are preparing yourself for something that you are growing into, right? Also, to nourish your skills, you can engage in what we call strategic pivoting. In other words, you are in a process where you are pivoting, but you do so strategically. In other words, you don't just step out, but you ensure that while you are still in this space, you are preparing yourself, you are investing in yourself, you are skilling yourself for where you are going to. Thirdly, to nourish your skills, you can engage in formal training, where you literally go back to an institution and then you have to study there. But then we also have informal training, which is also important. Informal training comes in where demonstrated expertise is what the promotion requires. Maybe you want to be a CEO, you might not need to get another MBA, but you need to have demonstrated competency. So in that case, you can go for informal training where you work with other CEOs or other mentors who have walked in the space, and then in that way, you are still getting informal training. Like what's happening today, it's a form of an informal training. You're not going to get an accredited certificate, but you've been trained. And we also have what I call a turbocharged training. A turbocharged training is between the formal and the informal. That's where you go for things like short courses. You know, your 3-month short course, a 4-week, 8-week type of a course. And also turbocharged training matters where you look at a program, maybe you look at a BCom program and you realize that I don't need all the courses that are offered. I just need a specific component in that program. So you don't have to study statistics and psychology and whatever. If all that you need to just pitch yourself into the space you're reinventing into, then you do turbocharged training. Then step number 5 is validation input, right? Validation input is really about mentoring. As you reinvent, remember, you are going to be experiencing a form of newness. A lot of people go to a person and say, be my mentor, and then they fold their arms. You set the momentum of what that mentoring should be. You know, we heard that sometimes you can look at Mom's Stole and all you see is a mom. That's all you get. She can't make herself something bigger than what you are making her in your mind. So you decide what you want to pull out of your mentor. And whatever you decide you want to pull, that's exactly what you're going to get. It's not just going to come to you. And also, in step number 6, as you reinvent yourself, emotional connection is key. A key thing about personal branding is not just what the brand looks like. It is actually how the brand makes people to feel about themselves. There's an iceberg that I wanted to show you, but you know the iceberg phenomenon. That says whenever there's an iceberg, what you see is really 20%. Underneath that is 80%. The same principle applies in personal branding. The logo that you see, the website, the banner, the files, you know, the coloring, the physical evidence, because what we're having right now from a marketing perspective, when the environment looks like this is a physical evidence, because when we give a service, we're not giving you anything tangible that you can touch. So you are using anything in the environment to give you a feel or to complete the feel of the service that you are getting, because this service, you consume it and you finish it. By the time you go, you can't say, I'm living with the service. Unlike with a product, when you buy a Coca-Cola, a Coke of can, a can of Coke, when you leave the store, you have something to show to say, this is a product I got, but a service is different. So which means you do need to pay attention to what people see, but more importantly, people will always follow anything that makes them feel good about themselves. So with personal branding, how the brand looks accounts only for 20%. All this that Mom Stall has done that we see is only 20%. But the 80%, which is how her personal brand makes us feel, is really what matters. Why would somebody buy a Ferrari over a Toyota? Because they are transportation. It's all about a feeling. If I can afford a Ferrari, I will go for a Ferrari because there's just something about how I'm feeling about myself when I'm in a Ferrari versus when I'm in a Toyota. A house is a house, it's shelter. But why would somebody leave a paid-up house in the township and go to Sandton for something that costs 10 million? Because accommodation is accommodation. For me, that just shows how important a brand is. It is a feeling that you give to people, and people will always want to feel good. The reason why there's a fitting room in every shop is not only for you to look at how this outfit looks on me, but it is also for you to go and check, how do I feel about myself when I am wearing these clothes? So now you must ask yourself, when people come to you to engage with you, to receive your services, how are your services going to make them feel, not about you, but about themselves? People are in it for themselves. Right now, if we have to tell the truth, we are not just here to support Mom Stall. We are here for ourselves. How is what she's giving me going to help me? How is it going to make me feel about myself after I utilize what she has given me? You see? So it's about the audience that you will be serving and rendering a service to. So keep that in mind. Yes, let's have the logos, let's have the website, but that's only 20%. That is why somebody can have a logo here and nobody is looking. And somebody can have a similar logo and they accuse of people. And then you wonder, but how come? Today I'm telling you, it's all about the 80% that is underneath that we don't see. Things like your values. You know, we've heard a lot. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on that. But those are the things that affect whether we are going to gravitate towards you or not. So as you reinvent, keep that in mind. If somebody comes to my service, they come to my church, they come to my business, or in a career, you know, they come to my concert, what is it that's in it for them? How are they going to be feeling about it? Are they going to feel that they receive value? Do you run an event so that people can come and support you? Or do you run an event so that people can come and really feel good about themselves? Emotions are important because they help us to connect. We heard about falling in love and being in love. Love is an incredible emotion that helps us to connect. And people will always follow whatever that they are mostly connected to. How can you build a strong emotional connection as you reinvent? I have an acronym for you, CAR, C-A-R. Number one, clarify to people all the time the problems or the challenges that you solve. Remember, it's not about you. It's about them. Yes, your brand is about you, but it's not for you. Dr. Sibongile Sitole, life coach and consultant, is about Ma, but it's not for her. It's for us. Okay? So step 7, you have to communicate your new offer. After you've gone through the whole process, communicate your new offer. I don't have time to give you all the steps, but it's very important that you give a clear rationale behind your transition. People don't like change. They resist change and they perceive it as inconsistent, and the minute that happens, they detach. So as you reinvent, don't just appear. Help your audience, depending on how long you've been with the audience and how big your audience is. Help them through a process of transition, right? Step 8, as you reinvent, transfer your gains. Remember to transfer your reputation. Reputation is portable. You don't have to start everything from scratch just because you are reinventing, which is image transformation. We cannot talk about reinvention without talking about your image. What is your image? Your image is the external expression of what's going on the inside. right? You need to understand things like your skin undertone. Which colors are going to work best for you as you reinvent, right? Are you a cool person? Are you a warm person? For example, to know if you're cool or warm, take a silver jewelry and a gold one, put them on your skin. If silver looks better on you, that means you are a cool person. If gold looks better on you, you are warm. Mamstole and I, we are warm people. And it's not about the complexion. It's not a skin tone, it's a skin undertone. So you have to understand your undertone. What is the undertone of your skin? Because it informs your whole appearance. The next thing that's important about your image transformation, because as you reinvent, you're also transforming your whole image. You cannot reinvent and not pay attention to your image. So your body shape matters as well. So next to that, you must understand your personality, fashion, style. First of all, your clothes need to help you to feel authentic. You must have a feeling of being authentic, not feel conscious, not look sick. There's a reason why you're wearing one outfit. You look sick, you look pale, and there's a kind of a heavy feeling around you. But some days you're wearing something and people are like, wow, you're looking amazing, you're glowing. It simply means you've considered the right color, you've considered your body shape, and also your personality, your fashion style personality. Your clothing needs to empower you. Because before we buy into what you are saying, we are buying into what you look like. We don't judge a book by a cover, but we judge a book by a cover. And also your clothing needs to give you joy. You need to wear something that flatters your shape. I'm a pear shape. I'm a very curvy woman. So I need to wear stuff like I'm wearing today. You know, I'm not one who would always wear very tight, tights and leather pants and pencil skirts all the time. I have to keep my body type in mind when I choose my clothing, especially if I'm going to stand in front of people. If when you are standing in front of people, people are forever stuck on what you are wearing, it means you've missed them. Also, your clothing needs to suit your lifestyle, and also your clothing needs to flatter your age. To look younger, you don't need a crop top. You will look ridiculous. A crop top is for young people, but if you are old, a crop top won't make you look younger. But if you know how to flatter your age in your clothing, then automatically you're going to look youthful. And then step 10, you want to optimize your relevance. You've got to be relevant. Be on the cutting edge of development. Manage the perceptions of your brand. Monitor your online presence. I cannot overemphasize. I put a photo on Facebook where I was showing my afro, no makeup, I was in my bed and everything. And my husband said to me, it does not represent your image well. And he said, did you see how many comments you had? I said, yeah, I had a lot. I think I had more than 100 comments. But then he said, you are misaligned, you're out of line. And I deleted that photo, So I wanted to cut my hair, make it blonde, short. But after a long discussion with my son and image and styling, I decided to just cut the ends and dye it black. And that's why I look the way I do today. But all I'm saying is that you have to be relevant to whatever you say you are representing. This is the reason why if Beyonce is wearing hot pants, the stadium is full. You are wearing hot pants, people are complaining. It is not a personal attack. It is all about what you have declared you stand for. Consciously or unconsciously, whatever that you stand for has got to be balanced by what you look like. I've never seen Beyonce trying to look like a pastor's wife. But I know pastors' wives who are trying to look like Beyonce. And it's a problem because that's not what they declared they are standing for. So have feedback mechanisms for what you are wearing, for your work, things like that, and be consistently committed to reinventing. Reinvention does not end, but reinvention is an ongoing process. As the market changes, you need to adjust accordingly. In my case, technology is taking over. I'm moving business online. Things like that. So be on the cutting edge of relevance.